Welcome back to the State Champs Scoreboard, presented by Lawrence Technological University. Possible is everything. Join in on the high school football talk. Call us at 248-539-9797 and watch the live stream on the State Champs Network Facebook page. Once again, here are your hosts, Lauren Plant, Tom Markowski, Kevin Moore, and Lauren Jabara.
Hey, everybody, thanks for coming back to the Scoreboard, our final half hour of the show. We go back to Friday nights for the rest of the high school football season starting next week. We want to send out a happy Labor Day to everyone and all the working families out there. This is a special kind of Labor Day edition here on a Thursday night as we begin September. Everybody's going back to school next week, so we'll try to make your transition from the couch back to the classroom as comfy as possible. We're here, and we want to talk with you about high school football. That's all we want to do every Friday night. 248-539-9797. If we get some good calls, you engage in some good conversation, have a good take, we'll give you Tigers tickets for next Tuesday, September 13th against Minnesota. That's going to be a big game. We've got tickets tonight. We've also got a $50 gift card good for the Royal Oaks Fifth Avenue Club. And, you can get lunch, dinner there. It's all courtesy of Fifth Avenue, and we're going to give those to people who are commenting on our Twitter. You can use the hashtag SC Scoreboard Show. Also, we're live right now on Facebook, so you can make those comments right there, and we're going to give those away before midnight. So make sure you hang in there, and if you keep contributing and we like your comments, you are in the running to win those prizes. But right now, we want to welcome in a coach who had another big win tonight. They beat Dearborn 25-20 last week. They beat Brighton tonight. What was the final score?
20-10.
20-10. So Northville getting it done. He's also going to be our Coach of the Week on State Champs Extra Point this Saturday at 10 a.m. on WXYZ Channel 7. Matt Laddick, kind enough to call in and join us tonight after a big win. Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you. I really appreciate you guys having me on.
No problem,
and
Matt.
We appreciate you.
Big win, obviously, playing the Brighton team. I thought maybe was a little young this year coming in, but they had a big win over East English. How'd you get it done today, Coach? It sounds like your defense played well.
You know what they did? We were fortunate to force 3 turnovers tonight, and we also had 5 drives tonight where our defense held Brighton to 5 plays or less. So, we kept them off the field. They kept themselves off the field and allowed our offense to work.
Sounds like you got a blue-collar team. I saw some of your highlights last week against Dearborn, which, by the way, is a pretty darn good football team, as we saw tonight when they beat Belleville. Sounds like you kind of, that one-back offense, get it in your quarterback's hands and kind of get those 5-6 yard positive gains on each down. Does that pretty much sum up your offense?
Yeah, we're pretty diverse offensively. We do a lot of different things, but you say we're a one-back offense. Our quarterback is definitely a running threat. Yeah, I mean, Jack is like a fullback in the backfield that can really throw the heck out of the football. So we're really proud and lucky to have him at that position.
What did Brighton do that you had to prepare for and be aware of?
Well, I'll tell you, they are an extremely well-coached team. You look at them going into that game at the Big House against East English Village, and they were outmatched at so many different positions, and they found a way to win. And they were a tough team, and we knew they were going to be well schooled, and they did some good things. Late in that second quarter, they had a good interception, number 48. Who played linebacker for them. He just made a great break on the ball, and it's almost like he knew the play was coming. So, my hat goes off to their kids and their coaching staff for their preparation as well.
We're talking to the head football coach at Northville High School, Matt Laddick.
Coach Lauren Jabara, your team was 10-0 before you lost last season to Canton in the district final. How hard was it to get over that loss?
That was tough. That was a game that...
It's a close game, too.
It was, and we made some mistakes in that game. We turned the ball over, and when you're playing against good football teams, you can't do that. And that kind of goes back to tonight. We were fortunate to, we did turn the ball over once, but they turned it over 3 times, and that was a big a big indicator for that win.
Yeah, usually if you win the turnover battle, your chances are improved greatly. One turnover is not that bad. And I talked to him before the season, Matt, and it sounds like, this is, a typical Northville team, play good defense, get good field position, have a strong kicking game.
Yeah, strong kicking game.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Jake Moody is absolutely awesome.
Did he kick a couple more tonight?
Yeah, he did. He made 2 tonight.
Okay.
We had an opportunity early that he pushed a little bit to the left, but probably at 10, 15 yards. It was a 45-yard attempt, and he kicked the heck out of the ball, just pushed a little bit to the left. And we had another opportunity in the first half. It was about 51 yards, and we decided to go for it. In hindsight, he probably could have pushed that thing through.
Okay.
It's been 3 years since Northville has taken on Walled Lake Western. That's who you got next week before you start battle in the KLAA Central Division. They're a good team, 2-0. How are you going to prepare for those guys?
Well, we're going to prepare for them just like we do everybody else, right? I mean, we're going to do our best to make sure that our players are mentally and physically prepared. They're extremely talented team, and our players are going to be fired up for this game. It's obviously a big game. I would assume that a lot of people will be paying attention to it, and
yes.
I anticipate that it's going to be a tough game. Our kids, they're just resilient. You can say what you want about Northville, but our kids are tough.
Yeah.
And I am so proud to be their coach and proud of all the things that they do.
Well, Coach, it's great, and I think there really has been a real sea change than what's going on out there at Northville, and I think you're a big part of that, and the kids are believers, and you're coaching them up, and that's the important thing. It's always fun to watch them. We'll have highlights of your game on this Saturday at 10 a.m. on WXYZ Channel 7, as well as we appreciate you letting us pull you away for a side and letting you be our Coach of the Week.
All right. Hey, thank you. Thank you for the honor, and thank you for what you guys do for the kids. I appreciate it.
No
Good
problem.
luck, Coach. We'll catch up with you a little later in the season. There you go. Matt Laddick, head coach at Northville. And again, we had Tony Petrito on earlier. He's a guy who is really inspirational. You heard some of that audio. Matt Laddick is a wild man sometimes when it comes to
we do have some footage of him.
And I'll tell you what, it gets me so fired up every time. If I had a pair of pads, I'd put them on and I'd run out there. So, we appreciate him, and again, he loves what he does. So, all right, a lot going on in the Detroit PSL. It's time for Kevin Moore's report.
That's right. Now, the big news around the PSL, everyone's been talking about the huge win from Detroit King over Southfield A&T, 39-zip victory for them. That was a big win, starting off the year defending Division II state champions. So, Coach Spencer was really grateful for that win. And a name that people need to be on the look for is King's running back Kevin Willis. He had a great game, and he, in fact, was the MVP of that game. He ran for 161 yards on 20 carries, scoring 3 TDs, and also had a receiving touchdown as well. And
what year is he, Kevin?
I believe he's a junior.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a junior, and
I know they got a lot of young kids.
Yeah, and Willis, he definitely learned a lot from Martell Petaway, the running back last year from King. So he definitely has to fill in a big role for them. And like I said, a big win for King over there, and also a big win for Cass too, as they beat Oak Park in a tough battle. They went back and forth the whole game, and Cass Tech actually took their first lead of that game, which took place last Sunday. It was supposed to be scheduled for Saturday, but moved to Sunday due to weather. And so they took their first lead, 28-21 in the second half. And that was a big game for Cass Tech. Peoples-Jones had a good game, 3 catches, 100 yards, and 2 TDs. And like I said, it was a back-and-forth game. And Coach Wiltshire really, talked about his team stepping up and playing together as a team that game. So, a big win for Cass Tech right there.
It's not only a big win, but it's against a really top opponent. I mean, I still think Oak Park's going to have a lot to say about the OAA title this year and perhaps making a run in the state playoffs. So that was no slouch they beat that after.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Now, some names people might not be too much familiar with in the PSL, Detroit Denby versus Detroit Osborne. These two teams play this tomorrow, actually, and both teams won their first game, and this is a big game. looking at their schedule, and Osborne, this is their first year Coach Marlon Baker. He actually was the defensive coordinator at Oak Park. And, I talked to him at the PSL Media Days. And, this coach, he loves his team. He's saying the guys are very dedicated. They want to change, their program from being a pretender to a contender in the PSL. So definitely on the lookout for Detroit Denby as well as Osborne. And another game, it will be Detroit Central versus Detroit King will play on Saturday. And Detroit Central had an impressive win as well over Ann Arbor Gabriel Richard, 20-15, their first week. And they have a new coach as well. And Coach Lynn Sanders, and he's expecting big things from this team this year. And they'll definitely get a test playing Detroit King coming up Saturday.
Yeah, that was an eye-opener, I thought, for Central beating Ann Arbor Richard, a team that's had success in the state playoffs.
Yeah. So, that's what's going around in the PSL, so we'll be looking out for those games.
Just to add something, I talked to the UAD coaches, and they went toe-to-toe with Mumford last week, and they said that was a much-improved Mumford team.
Oh, yeah.
And they said those guys are big.
Yeah, the teams in the PSL are definitely improving.
Yeah,
so,
I think Mumford's better.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's going to be an exciting season.
Before we go to the break, Lauren.
Okay, guys, we have some stuff from social media. Let's hear it. First of all, Matthew Osterman. Some stuff, exactly. Matthew Osterman wanted to say he hopes Tom's arm feels better. So that's really nice of you, Matthew. We appreciate it. We all hope his arm feels better.
Day by day.
Day by day. Krista Macco wanted to know the Lake Orion score. Lake Orion won 30-10. John Mathis wanted to know the Allen Park Wyandotte score. Allen Park crushed Wyandotte 30-0. And then an interesting question. Philip North wanted to know, when is the last time that Canton started 0-2 for the season? You guys know?
Yes, I do. 1998.
Ooh.
In fact, they started
back in the archives.
It was pre-Tim Beckler, and in fact, they started off 0-4 that year. In the WLAA West, whatever
Lakes,
that was.
Yeah, Western Lakes, whatever.
Yeah, hey, I just want to make a brief comment. I said the running back from Detroit King, Kevin Willis, was a junior. He's a senior this year.
A senior.
Okay,
he's a senior this year. So I just wanted to make that
Thanks
note.
for that correction.
Oh,
That's a good correction. Take us to break.
All right, you guys. In the final segment, we're going to talk to our Mac expert, Jerry Mack, and it's your last chance to qualify for Tigers tickets. Also, to win the $50 Fifth Avenue gift card by commenting on our Facebook Live video. That and more coming up after the break.
That's right. Scott Bernstein, too. So stay with us right here on the SC Scoreboard Show.